human resource domain initially.
Mhm.
Okay, and how you think that means your complete shift towards it.
Sure. So very well. So when I was preparing for post graduation, I
Yeah.
thought of three functions after the graduation I would take my job on according to
Okay.
my own work style, my own temperament. So these three options were first was operations, specifically
Yeah.
supply chain. Second was marketing, and third was HR. As it happened, I was selected in one of the B schools better known for HR. Therefore, HR became an automatic choice for me. Looking back, I'm grateful to learn HRM and apply in organization where it matters. So I have served in three organizations after post graduation, and I have done many good projects there. And
Okay.
in the way, I have tried to improve the lives of the employees there. So I'm thankful for that.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I think this is right. XLRI Jamshedpur is mostly known for its capabilities and the grasp they have over human resource management.
Yeah,
And after that, these three, I think L&T, Reliance, and Walmart, which you have served with, right?
yeah.
Yeah, sure. So I think, yeah, this is the initiations. I'll just move on to the next question.
Mhm.
What exactly your role in the current firm you are with, and how it will be means like it's a broad idea, right? Talent architecture, it's a main, I think, part of any organizations, that how the talent of different a portion of people are getting leveraged and getting utilized in the organization. So yeah, please.
Sure. So I am part of the team called Talent Architecture. We are co-located team in Bangalore and Bentonville in US. So
Okay.
so what our team does is we are like global consultant for the Walmart all across the world. So we serve Walmart US, then Chile, Mexico, Central America, Canada, China, and all those places where Walmart has presence. What we do, we design the talent of the future, how the talent of the future should look like. We identify the core capabilities to required to perform a job as per the
Yeah.
strategy of that particular market. Then we
Okay.
think about how the career movement should look like for an employee in an organization. We also have some elements of organization design in our team. Then we basically consult the organization in various markets, and so this is the work I am doing, and my day-to-day interaction is with uh, HR and the business leaders of many countries. So that is my job in Walmart.
Okay, great. So I think we can get a brief perspective that not only means to hire the employees for the uh, organization, but to
Mhm.
look forward with them, that how their future is going on with, and to enable them with what they're really looking for, as well
Mhm.
as what organization really needs. Right.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think that's a great perspective for now. Let's move on to the next question.
Mhm.
What advice you want to give for freshers who want to pursue HR? Okay, and I'll be asking in reference to data science ready, like what they
Sure.
should really look towards it. Okay, and how they should prepare.
Mhm. Sure. Very good question. In fact, this is very good question for incumbent HR professionals. So
All
before
right.
going to the data science, let's understand what is an HR.
All
So
right.
HR is like an iceberg. A small part of it is visible to everybody, and the important part, the voluminous part, is not visible. What part is visible to everybody is the recruitment function.
Right.
Whenever you say that, whenever you talk about HR, people will either think about the recruitment function or HR business partnering function when you come into the organization, and when you have to ask some question or resolve some HR related queries, then you go to the person which is HR business partner. These
All right.
are just two aspects of the HR, and these are the important aspect of the HR, but there are more to HR than that. For example, payroll processing happens every month, and lots of compensation and benefit work goes around. So a
Right.
team is there in all the organization, either named by compensation of benefits or total rewards or whatever the name you can call. So they are the number crunchers and they ensure that your salary is processed accurately at the end of the every month. So now that is
Right.
compensation and benefits. Other
Right.
aspect is learning and development. So
Right.
they create the content, they ensure that the employees in an organization are abreast with the functional knowledge and the requirement for the job, and they are updated with the industry technology. So that is learning and development. Then there are many different functions, and they are really it will take some time to tell all about all those functions. What
Right.
one of the phenomena which data science is bringing into the HR industry is that HR analytics function is being established by many organizations now. The
Okay.
organizations which are multinational, they are the first to adopt this function. But
Okay.
Indian organizations are also trying to incorporate one small organization within HR. It's called HR analytics. Here, the
Okay.
scope of freshers are immense, since all the all the HRs who have already spent some time in industry,
Yeah.
they will be adopting the data science technology a little late. But the freshers
Right.
have the avenue to adopt the data science very quickly, and they can be the functional head in the new functions created in all the organization as an HR analytics function. So that is my first advice to HR to look for, incumbent HR to look for.
Okay.
Second, HR will use more and more product approach. So in data
Okay.
science, it is possible that HR will not start coding, or HR will not do all the vector mathematics and statistics to understand what is going on behind the data. But they will be like a product manager who understand all the aspect of data science as well as HR and bring the solution. For example, if you are creating a new attendance system, this attendance system should be leveraging the data science, and it should be on the
Right.
mobile app or any kind of thing. So that product development will be developed by an HR. So that is the next avenue which uh, new
Right.
fresher HRs should be looking for. And and third is the understanding of overall functional application of data science in HR. So data science is very deep field. HR in
Yeah. Right.
itself is a deep field. You have to think how to combine these two, and the
Right.
person who is able to combine these two knowledge will have a very good future. And that's my third advice to the HR professional who are coming into the industry now.
All right. All right. So I think I'll got a bit prospects with what you are saying, that maybe you don't have to get into the coding side
Yeah.
or get into the means means how this data science or what it work, but you have to got the basic idea that data science brings some capability with it,
Yeah.
and you should utilize those capability along with the interaction with a data analytics guy. Okay,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
bring those prospects towards what really needed,
Yeah.
and utilize those at the different prospects that where HR is involved, right? So yeah, I think this is a great point that you have shared, and it's really helpful for freshers as well as those who are in this field currently, right? So yeah, I think that's a great means learning prospects you have shared for it. Okay, now I'll just move on to the next question that we have in mind. What is the capability you see in the current cohort of human resource
Mhm.
you mostly meet with? Do they leverage enough the data side, or still under progression phase for this?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So to understand this question better, you
Yeah.
should understand how HR has evolved over time. Let's go
Right.
100 years back. There was
Right.
no HR 100 years back in official form in the company. What was there was that administration purpose. So people were
Right.
working in factories. How their administration was done, how attendance was done, how payroll was done. So that
Right.
was the function which was happening that during that time.
Right.
Over the time, what happened is that during the mid of the 20th century, let's say in India, labor codes came into the picture and
Yeah.
labor laws came into the picture. So now a relation between the person who was handling the administration depend with the employees of that organization, and now you had to take care of all the labor laws as well. For example, let's say that you are not being exploited, you are
Yeah,
working
right,
in the within the purview of the law, there is no dangerous
right,
situation to your work. So that kind of thing evolved over
right.
the time. After few decades, personal management came into the picture, where the relation between the erstwhile HR, personal manager, deepened
Yeah,
with the employees, and now they started asking questions: Well, are you all right? Do you like
yeah,
your job? If you like your job, what can we help you? Do you want learning and development? We can provide that for you. Then that kind of relationship emerged. Now, in 21st century, it has gone well beyond that. Now,
yeah.
employees are the center of the organization, and who takes care of them? It is the human capital management, HR, people function, whatever name you can say. So
Right,
now
right.
in the center of the decision making of the organization is now not anymore profit, it is the people. So so
Yeah,
organizations
right,
take care of people first, and profit comes to them. So that is the evolution. Therefore, HR moved from the narrow perspective to the holistic uh, approach towards the employee. Therefore, different
right.
skill set was required to perform HR activities then and now. And now the different skill sets were evolved in the different parts what they are functioning, like payroll
Yeah,
processing, compensation,
yeah,
learning and
yeah,
development, organization development, organization design, talent management, all these
yeah.
gamut of activities. However,
Right,
now connecting with the data science, analytical approach and data driven decision making and problem solving are not used by many functions in HR. Few
right.
functions use it, for example, compensation and benefit, because they churn number. They think about the benefits, they think
Yeah,
about the profit after tax and everything. So they use the data driven approach. Some few of the other functions also use, but not all. So one good way of using the data in the HR is that doing the consulting approach. What consultants do, let's say you are a consultant from one of the big four organization, McKinsey, BCG, anywhere, and an
yeah.
organization
Got it.
call you for solving some HR problems. What you do is that you try to simulate the problem and try to create a model based on some data. You try to
Right,
benchmark the solution with many different organizations, and that is a in very basic data driven approach for problem solving, but that is not data science.
right.
Specifically data science, HR is starting to get captured, and what is happening is that data science starts when you have some database. Right now HR does not have too much database. So now
Yeah,
when database is being created, data science is emerging for an HR, and and HR will leverage that data as a product manager more than the data scientist for creating the HR solutions. So there are
right.
three capabilities as required by HR now. One is the HR functional knowledge, domain knowledge. Second is the data science
Yeah,
application, not the nuances of the data science like exact coding, but the application of data science. And third is the product management. So this is the capability required in the cohort of the HR to perform right in the data science. Now, I'm not saying that HR will not be able to code. HR will not be able to understand statistics. No, I'm not saying that. But HR is itself is a deep field. Data science itself is a deep field. So probably there will be very few people who will be knowing the deep side of both, and they will be concentrated and very high demand. What normal
yeah. Right.
HR will do is that they will understand basics of both and combine these two. So that will be the capability of future.
Okay, right. So I think all I can scratch out from this is that in the data science means HR field, you have to utilize your analytical skills if it's available to you.
Sure.
Okay, and put this to get the number crunching better, to improve the number crunching better, so that you can utilize those capability, because it will help in a lot of manner. You either have analytical or coding knowledge, you might not have, but
Mhm.
if you have, you can use it in a better way by yourself. Okay,
Mhm.
or you can take help. Okay, if there is a lack or there is a lot of understanding needed, but a lot of leverage can be done, because there's a lot of data going on around the HR field, right? The
Yeah.
different prospects of HR. I think that is a great idea, and I think we are seeing that uh, now or soon, data science is the major part that will be involved with the HR sections. Okay, as per my perspective. Okay,
Exactly.
so yeah, thanks. It's a great understanding towards it. Now let's move on to the next question.
Mhm.
Uh, what kind of decision mostly a data science solution help in an organization?
Mhm.
Mostly simple, hard, or complex? Like my perspective towards it is that
Mhm.
there are certain simple problems that is going around HR day-to-day life, okay, or there may be a complex that they are facing from a long term, and they are trying to evolve with it. So, what is the current perspective? Means what kind of solutions people are getting out of it now?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Sure.
please.
Sure. So currently there are various approaches being deployed. For example, the simplest one is visualization and descriptive analysis. So that data is there.
Right.
Now you have to visualize the data, and in that Power BI, Tableau, and all those tools are being used. Let me tell you that
Got it.
HR is not the early adopter of technology. In fact, it is a late adopter of technology. So Power BI is being
All
used.
right.
Excel is being used extensively. Tableau has started to come into the HR now, whereas Tableau in other organizations like customer support, finances, all that, it's prevalent, it's ubiquitous. But
Okay.
so HR has started using these tools now for visualization. Other very common thing which is going on in many organizations for many years is that attrition analysis, different type of attrition analysis based on the parameters and characteristic of an employee is done. So for example, one of the biggest bank in US, what they did is that they had more than 20% of attrition year on year.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they wanted
Right.
to deploy data science to understand what is happening. They did
Yeah.
attrition analysis, and they found that there are many different parameters which is responsible for the attrition. One of the important is that distance from the home. So people want to have
Okay.
offices near to their home. So all these kind of nuances you will get in HR problem solving using the algorithms of data science. Now,
All right.
usually through tools provided by other organization, the other vendors, organization is using the analytics or data science. So many of the organization are not directly deploying the data science, but they are using the tools of the other vendors. For example, IBM Watson Talent Insight is one of the solution. So that is being used by many organization to understand the insights of their talent. For example,
Right.
second one is that human capital management, internal insight and data dashboard features. For example, every organization has human capital management. Any big organization
All right.
that is a part of overall ERP. So
All right.
so many organization has Workday as their human capital management, and Workday provides Workday Prism Analytics for the talent management analytics. So they use that kind of analytics for that. Then
All right.
there are many companies like Benefit Focus company. There is a company which recommends customized benefit for an employee, which is very much similar to how Netflix provides
Okay. Yeah.
recommendation. So that these kind of things are being done. So this is a simpler aspect of data science being used in the organization, but there are complex side as well. And these
All
complex
right.
solutions are not immediately deployed, but in the future, we think that it will be deployed. For example, interview through artificial intelligence. One of the companies in the US that is called HireView, they are using a simpler version of face-to-face interview through a mobile app. There you will give your
Yep.
interview on the mobile app, and the machine learning software itself will score your interview, and that will give you a score, and that will help
Okay.
you in building your candidature for that organization. So one that is complex
Okay.
and it is
Okay.
evolving right now. Second is the skills framework. So you are working in an
Yep.
organization. What are your skill sets? How to determine your skill set? So machine learning will help in understanding the skill set of an employee and then connect that skill set to the other aspects. So that is one complex
Yep.
work which will go on. Third is the background verification. What do you understand by background verification? Just that when you are about to join a new company, then background verification will happen. Okay, whether Akash has worked in this company, what was his salary
All
in the
right.
last company, where is his hometown, and all those kind of things. That is a normal background verification. What about
Right.
skill verification? So probably there will be few companies who will be providing skill verification over the time. They will data mine your
Okay.
skills from the network, for example LinkedIn, for example Glassdoor, for
Yeah.
example your
Yeah. Right.
organization, from organization you have where you have worked for. Create a database for yourself and then provide background verification to the next company you are going to join. So that is the future in the skill
Right.
verification for the HR. Then one of the complex
Got
work
it.
in manpower forecasting. Okay, next year we are going to project sales like this. We are going to do this. So how would our manpower would look like? Currently, there is no very good solution in the market, but in the
Okay.
future there is going to be. And let's say last example, let's say take organization design. Two organizations are merging.
Yeah.
How their talent will look like in the future, or how different talent will merge together to form most
New
beneficial solution
capability.
for the company. So
Right.
that kind of solution will be provided in the future by the data science. So this is the complex
Okay.
side of the data science in HR.
Got it. Got it. I think that's a huge, means a huge capability that you have shared till now. So
Mhm.
first of all, the attrition part, because that's a major issue,
Yeah,
because it's needed for at least long-lasting people of the organization to stay with them so that their project move on in a proper way.
yeah,
If there is a lot of attrition, then that will be a very a major issue for the firm. And data science is helping towards that as well. Apart from it, there are different use of machine learning and algorithms
mhm,
happening at the different levels with the HR management. Like you have said, they are using to analyze the interview and score the interview, right? So all those are, I think, a great insight that we have just got to know about it. So yeah, thanks for it. I'll just put you the next questions towards my perspective.
mhm.
What is the core responsibility a human resource expert spend most of his time with, and where problem solving is more efficient using data science?
Sure. So
Yeah.
as stated earlier, few of the core functions of HR, traditional functions, I'm not talking
Yep.
right now in data science, are like talent acquisition, HR operations, learning and development, HR business partnering. But data
Right.
science is now being adopted by the HR. And where it is being
Yeah.
adopted,
Right.
let's start with talent acquisition. So earlier
Yeah.
talent acquisition, hundreds and thousands of CVs were looked at by and then screened by the recruiters, and they would select the
Right.
perfect candidates by looking at hundreds and hundreds of CVs. That
Right.
was a little bit inefficient because it took too much time and every candidate did not get their due time to for the recruiter. Now CV parsing is being done by the algorithms. So what
Got it.
is the best fit candidate? Certain parameters are already designed and the CV is passed, and then candidates are selected based on that. That is the one case study how it is being used. Second is the
Right.
collection of candidate data from different sources. Suppose somebody has to hire a candidate and they want to know a little bit more about it. So
Yeah.
as I stated in the last question that data mining can take place from different job site portals, LinkedIn and all those places. And
Right.
for example, even from the Facebook and other social media sites, and then a profile is built for the candidate. So that is also happening. For based on that, candidate scoring is done. And virtual interviews, as already stated, yes, that is going on, but it has to be evolved. One of the good case studies which is in the nascent stage right now but is evolving very fast is the usage of chatbots. So I
Right.
personally
Right.
have used chatbot in my organization, where traditional HR business partnering function used to solve that kind of problem, but that was solved by a chatbot. So chatbots are becoming
Okay.
intelligent day by day, and in few years, many of the traditional vanilla HR activities will be done by them. And uh,
Right.
predicting employee behavior and evidence-based way of decision makings. These are the things slowly being adopted by HR in the
Okay.
in the organization. So that are some of the use cases.
Okay. That are the current use cases that
Yeah.
HR have started involving in. and looking forward towards it, that what they can do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just put you the next thought that we have.
Mhm.
How HR management industry deal with data and leverage the data science domain expert capabilities. I think you have covered most of it, but let's focus towards what current
Sure,
aspects.
sure,
Yeah,
sure. So this is one of the very important questions you have asked, Akash,
right, right.
because data and other challenges are very, very dominant in HR function as compared to other functions like marketing, sales, and finance. What are
Right,
the challenges? Challenges are that in HR there are very less data as compared to other functions like sales or finance. Why? Let's say an organization has 10,000 employees.
okay,
How much rows of Excel will it fill? That is the HR data. Okay, let's say 50 columns
right,
and
right.
1,000 rows and some more data. Let's say some megabyte, gigabyte of data. Definitely not terabyte, petabyte data. Nothing. No, not like that.
No, not
Database is
currently, right,
small. But on the
right,
other
right.
hand, sales data. Think about it. An organization with
Yeah,
10,000 employees will be selling millions and millions of articles at different places across the geography in different stock keeping units and different products. So there will
right,
be millions and millions lines of Excel data in that, terabytes of data.
right.
So the data
Yeah,
generated in HR is very less as compared to the other functions. That is one of the biggest
right,
employees,
right.
biggest challenges in the HR. So employer do not store the information of the employees. For example, when you are hired, your details are taken in the organization, like your personal information, your background, and all those kind of things. But small details like
Right.
from which channel you have been recruited. Is it from LinkedIn? Is it from other social media site?
Yeah,
Is it from consultant, or is it from referral or
right.
internal movement? So that kind of
Yeah,
data is not captured. So HR has
right.
to evolve from not capturing data to creating a very good database. Now, second challenge can be there can be very serious consequences of
Yeah,
data-based decision in HR. Example of
all right.
biases and ethical issues will crop up. When you follow a procedure for doing something and distributing data to creating a
Right. Yeah,
justice is when you provide a justice to somebody that should be equitable to all. For
right.
example, if you are hiring something and your algorithm says that certain people you should not hire, and only certain people from the community, a certain community you should hire, think
Yeah,
about implementing that. So that's why that is second challenge. HR solution cannot be directly driven from the data science, because you
yeah.
have to use your human intuition as well.
Right,
Third
right.
problem is that uh, use of the past data for creating the future solution in HR is it can be very problematic. For example, when Amazon tried to create their best employee or algorithm, what a best employee would look like, and they would hire the similar kind of employees, it
Yeah,
was found that in 2017 it was found that algorithm is giving very high scoring for high probability for hiring to the white males of US as compared to blacks or Hispanics or even female gender. Now, why is that happening? Because
okay,
past data has been so. Will you adopt that?
okay.
No, that is ethically wrong.
No, right,
So
right.
that kind of
Right,
past
right.
data cannot be used, unlike in other finance or sales forecasting and all those other operations data. So HR data we have to treat
Right,
very carefully. Then next
right, right.
problem may be that HR data is often very subjective. For example, performance rating. Sorry. So what happens in performance rating is that it is a subjective understanding of your performance by your manager, and then you are given a rating. So that is a subjective data,
Right.
and it is not like a sales
Yeah,
data where actual sales is happening, how much value is given to a product, how much operation cost is being utilized. So that is a fact. This is a subjective fact. Then human beings can react to all algorithm based on decision making. For example, if somebody knew, okay, in this hiring software you have to repeat certain keywords, for example, and if you repeat those keywords, then this algorithm will give you high marks. then
Right.
people will start doing it, and then algorithm will be broken down. So that kind of thing will are challenges in HR. Then one of the biggest challenges right now happening in organization, and which I have seen most of the time, is that HR has many disparate systems. Let's say
Okay.
one system for employee movement to overseas, one system human capital management, one system for benefits and payroll processing, and these
Okay.
systems do not talk to each other. These data are not compatible to each other. So that
Okay.
becomes the problem of veracity of the data, where you cannot trust the data because every system has its own different type of data. And last problem is that the data is static. In
Yeah.
sales, the data is captured continually,
Yeah.
but
Right.
how much data for an employee is captured in the organization? It is very static. Every year when you are, let's say your performance appraisal happens, or you get promoted, or your increment happens, then one row of your
Mm,
data is one row of your data is sent to the Excel file or whatever the database it is, but
all right.
data is not continuously captured. So that is the static data. So these are the important challenges, and based
Yeah.
on that, we'll have to think the complete how HR management industry is dealing with data and leverage the data science. So I'll give you one very good example
Yeah.
also how one of the organization has done that. So
Okay.
in US, in one of these states, police department faced a very peculiar problem. So they
Okay.
faced a problem that in US department, in US police department, they also have helicopter pilots who flew helicopters.
Okay.
So they found that they invest too much in training the helicopter pilot, but then they leave, and
Yeah.
that training is very very expensive, humongous expensive, and
Right.
taxpayer are paying money for that.
Yeah.
So they what they did is that they deployed few data scientists to solve that problem. And now when data crunching happened by the data scientists, what they found is that uh, there are two avenues of recruitment in that. One avenue
Okay.
was that the police force agents, that is the police officers, they were
Yeah.
trained for the pilot licensing, and when they were trained, they became pilot, and they used to flew the helicopter.
Okay.
Another way of recruitment was that commercial pilots were given training in the police agent procedures and processes. They become the police officers, and now they were the pilots and police officers capability, and they started flying the
Okay.
aircraft helicopter. But only one of those group was leaving, and other group was not leaving. Which was that?
Okay. Yeah.
So
I think.
they, yeah. Please go on.
Yeah. So I think that is the commercial pilot, as per my prospect.
Okay. Why would you say that?
Right. Just because I think they are more focused towards understanding and learning these things and move on with great opportunities. That what I can think of.
Great, Akash.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so that was the hypothesis of the data scientists also, and
Yeah.
they used their experimentation method, and then they really found that
Yeah.
the demand of the police pilots were humongous in the commercial industry. What what commercial pilots came and did is that the police piloting was just a career for them, whereas for
Okay. Yeah.
the police officers, that agents, and
Yeah.
becoming the pilot, that was not a career but a calling for them, calling for to do something good for the society. And you are
Yeah.
right.
Right.
Finally, from the data, it was proved that this avenue of recruitment is not very effective. This avenue of recruitment is effective,
Greatly effective. Right.
and thus they had taken the solution from that. So another example
Got
of
it.
Google is that Google is very very front runner in using the analytics for HR. In fact, one of the fastest growing organization using the analytics is HR is Google. So they
Okay.
thought of creating a promotion based algorithm which will predict which employees, which engineers they should promote, and which engineers they should not promote. Based on
Okay.
that, they created a algorithm which was for one third of their population. It was 80 to 90% of the time, and success rate was 80 to 90%, which was very good. But
Okay.
it was not adopted by the employees. They said that the human decisions should be left to the human itself and not
Yeah.
the machine. So it all, and finally many organizations like Google might be adopting the approach is that machine learning, artificial intelligence, they will not be taking the decision, but augmenting the decision of the human. So they will be providing the data analytics insight, and the human will be taking the decision. And that is the
Okay.
approach being followed by many organizations.
I think that's great. I think I can take a lot of great things from this discussion. One is that data is, I think, very static, as you have said, and it's right actually. When somebody is getting hired, somebody is leaving, or their yearly understanding of work. I think based on that only data of an employee is getting collected. And apart from it, yeah, you are right. Data is very limited towards HR. Okay,
Yeah.
based on the employees, and it's very distributive. Like there are different fields from where employee can come. So it's a bit hard that there is not only one a cycle revolving, but there is some other parts as well which are getting interactions. So that is, I think, data is very limited. Apart from it, it's very sparse. So getting all that collated and making more crunching capable decision is a bit, I think, will be the future, as per my say, in the data science with the human resource management. Okay, so I'll just move on with the next question that I want to ask with you. What kind of improvement you think AI ML still going to bring in HR daily job involvement? So I think it's a simple that they face in their day-to-day life.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So simple thing is that simple operational process of HR are being handled by autonomous algorithm. For example, I gave you the example of chatbots are
Yeah, right.
evolving and they will be solving the problem. Second is
Right.
the integrating. So one very important aspect is that till now there is no proper establishment, between the HR data and the company outcome. So if you are
Yeah.
taking on a decision, there is no direct connection between the outcome of a company till now.
All
So
right.
when you integrate the business and financial data with the HR data, then
Okay.
the HR database will become robust, and there is a possibility in the future that when you do something for HR, when you spend, let's say, $1 in HR activity, then you will get to know how much of that $1 is going to affect the outcome of the company. Then
Right.
third part is that the aggregators of the data will bring a new perspective to the table. Now,
Yeah.
what does that mean? So ADP is a company which handles outsourced payroll operation for thousands of companies and
Okay.
has been able to harness this scale to build predictive models of compensation and employee churn. So what they are doing is that they are taking the compensation data of so many employees in for so many organizations, and they have created their own model for the
Okay.
what should be the proper level of compensation, what will be the attrition level if you are paying at this level. So that kind of perspective are being given by some of the organization, and this is the improvement which AI and ML is bringing to the HR in daily job, that is
Okay.
predicting the compensation or predicting the attrition. And finally, other types of decision making support using unstructured data like NLP. So
Yeah.
social media and mail traffic are being monitored by many organizations, and the sentimental analysis is being deployed to know what kind of sentiment is going on for the organization by different set of employees, and banks use it for fraud detection. So that kind of improvements AI and ML is bringing to the table for the HR.
Got it. I think, yeah, that's a great prospect till now. And yeah, so these are really the day-to-day basis problems, and that can be solved. Okay, I think in the upcoming time. So I think I'll just put you on the final question that I want to ask
Okay.
you. Okay, and I think we'll do with each one of us, our experts,
Mhm.
that what do you think the data science domain capabilities that it will be doing with the HR sector in the upcoming 10 years? That how means what is the future that you think
Mhm.
after 5 or 10 years we can see?
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good question. So what is happening right now is that many decisions are being taken based on the correlation, but
Right.
HR will implement the data with causal relationship, cause and effect. I'm giving you an
Right.
example.
Yeah,
Uh,
please.
so, given an example of like the algorithm of Amazon, which was throwing that white males will be the better performer in your jobs.
Yeah.
That's why hire white males. So
Yeah.
a correlation was established between the high performance and white male, but
Yeah.
that may be due to many different factors, and there was no causal relationship between them. So can you say definitely okay, if you bring a white male instead of a black male, then the performance of the white male will be very good, the performance of the organization will be good? No, there is no causal relationship. So
All right.
an experimentation will happen. So many large organizations will do the scientific research approach to find the causal approach, like Google does. Example, what Google has done is that one of the example is that optimal number of interviews per candidate they have identified based on the causal relation between the number of interviews as well as the success of this candidate.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the first part. Let's say what can be the big thing in the next 10 years is that one of the things will be talent marketplace.
Yeah.
Right now right now demand is there for talent for some roles,
Yeah.
supply of talent is there, but how those two are connected,
Yeah.
especially within the organization, when the whole skills framework will be connected. So there will be automatic algorithm which will know, okay, this is the person
Yeah.
which has all those kind of skills over the years from different
Right.
organization, and this is our job. It requires all those kind of skills to do that job, and there and the correlation between these two is very high. So probably this person will fit in this role, and the overall talent marketplace will function in the future. Right now, there is no talent
All right.
marketplace in most of the organization, but there will be in future. And
Yeah.
long-term skill and capability tracking, which I have already talked about, background verification. So
Right.
that
Right.
kind of long-term skill capability tracking can happen in the future. So these are the
Okay.
my predictions for the future.
So yeah, means these things can happen. Okay, and going to be evolved according to
Mhm.
you, right? So yeah, I think so. This is what the basic and the prospects that we have created for now. Okay, and I think I would like to move on to the open to public